am the voice of the voiceless, and as I look out at you, I know that there is something missing. So come with me on the journey to crawl, walk, run. Produced by 1821 Productions. My book, The Mirror, the second edition. My book, The Broken Mirror. Please come. Listen to my audiobooks and relax. Come into my world, my mirror world. Good afternoon. My name is William Stevens. I go by the voice of the voiceless. And this is my podcast, episode 5. So I had to come on here, had an unforeseen cancellation, so I thought I'd jump on here real quick. I don't know how long I'm going to be, maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm not going to try to take up all your time because I don't like long podcasts. So this will probably be the only video type that I do on these podcasts. So I thought, come on and just, apologize. A lot of people out there was expecting this to happen, but, shit happens. Okay. So I'd like to welcome you to Crawl, Walk, Run. And this is Voiceless, Voices of the Voiceless. All right. So today's topic is going to be leadership. Military leadership, corporate leadership, civilian leadership. Now, I'm not a subject matter expert on leadership, but I will say with all of my background in military, working in civilian government, working in a prison, correctional facility, doing all these leadership courses, going to all these leadership schools while I was in the military. So basically I did this thing called a sweep, combined all my courses. They gave me a bachelor's, and I picked general studies and then changed it to military leadership after I went to some stuff in Colorado and Colorado Springs and some online stuff. And so I have equivalent to a bachelor's in military leadership. So I don't have a master's. I'm not going to come on here and crack the whip and say this is the way it's going to be. And I'm damn sure did not sit in school and learn how to be a leader without trying to do things like I did in the military. So like I said, there are different leaders. You have leaders in the military, you have combat leadership, you have your civilian leadership, you have corporate leadership, you have like hospital staff type leadership, doctors, lawyers, all that. So one thing I don't agree with, and this is only my opinion as a podcaster and serving 20 years plus and then 16 years plus with the civilian government, I have walked the walk, talked the talk, and now I'm dancing the dancing. So, like I said, I'm not a subject matter expert, but I don't believe if someone's going to college for like 4 years and then go work for some big leadership firm or something and then try to go out and teach classes and they've never fucking lead a rock somewhere or anything. They don't know what, they want to preach leadership. I've seen a few leadership people out there. I know a few people out there that do that. They're pretty good at it, but I'm going to tell you, some of the best leaders I've met are the ones that took their soldiers to combat and came back successfully. It doesn't mean you're going to come back successfully with, at least losing somebody, but when you can go and train a platoon or a battery or a company and take them into combat, which a lot of people don't, for the next couple of years, I don't think they're going to even do that. But, all I'm saying is, you have these, look at this cat. I can't believe the cat just walked in front of me while I'm doing it. Will you get out of the way? Get out of the way. I can't believe the cat. I'm trying to do professional podcast and the cat just threw a little ass in front of me. Of all people, the cat want to walk in front of me, but that's okay. So I have been doing morning posting on Crawl Walk Run Facebook group, posting different types of leadership. I don't know if you know it or not. Hell, I didn't know this until this year, but I've been to like instructor trainer course where they like instill leadership into you to like instill leadership and survival into units that are training for like Afghanistan and Iraq. And then you get like I guess a hotel identifier or a mic identifier. I don't know which one it is no more. They changed so much shit in the military. Really, I don't care because I don't have the identifier no more because now I'm retired. But still, I try to help and reach out to people. So that's what this is all about. So I've been posting like what crawl is, what walk is, what run is. Basically, coach, teach, mentor. You have the definition of military leadership, instilling others, to go follow in a direction, to accomplish a mission. And then you have like all the other, 879 definitions of leadership, which is like a whole crock. And this morning I started typing in something called hype leadership, and that shit actually came up. And it's like all kinds of different. So for the next probably 30 days on my group page, I'm going to be posting these different hype leadership, like, I don't want to say agendas, but kind of like, just statements. And you could take it for what it is. It helps you. It's like a tool for your toolbox. Do what you got to do, So I just want to let you know that I think everybody in the military who served in a leadership position has like their favorite soldier. So I'm going to go into this little thing about how some of my soldiers, when I was a platoon sergeant or even a section chief, how they absolutely hated my guts. But it's funny because like the way I was a leader, and I believe if you're a leader, it doesn't matter, military, civilian, you have to be hard but fair. Okay. And then you also have to adapt to things that happen. Like if you tell them to do something and something medically or a family thing comes up, there ain't nobody else to do it. Well, guess who's doing it? Your ass is doing it. And that's the part about it being a leader, because have you ever seen the model that I posted where it has these people pulling like a rope or pulling like the stone, and there's a guy at the desk and he's called the boss? Well, that's what bosses do. They supervise or they micromanage. And then you have leaders where you have the four people pulling the rock, but the leader is in the front pulling with them. Leaders don't lead from the back. They lead from the front. All right. So I remember being on like combat security walks. There's the point man, and then there's probably the platoon sergeant or the platoon leader. Sometimes I worry into the middle a little bit because of security, because like without the leader, sometimes they scurry, but we lead from the front. And if you're a job supervisor or a manager and you're a boss, you need to get your ass out there and watch what they're doing. And if they make a mistake, you don't get mad at them and yell at them because your lazy ass didn't show them how to do it, And people just think that because you have this, I don't know, you have these people that write on their resumes that they have a degree in this and they're, they know how to do this, but there are certain jobs out there where people's lives are on the line, and they always like try to do like, I use like security. They always do like security simulation drills, Oh, that shit will never happen to me. Once you have to people at the Navy Yard, I'm not going to get too much into it, but you can Google a Navy Yard shooting that happened in Virginia or DC at the Navy Yard, where that guy went in a secure area and then shot all those people up, and then bullets were going everywhere and going through cubicles and all that. And these people never thought Clearly, I don't think some people were trained, but hopefully now, you know, they don't, what's it called, simulate, because they're a headquarters command or, a headquarters unit or echelon. Like, everybody needs to do the crawl, walk, run. All the employees need to be involved in it, because you know what? One day it's going to happen. And now I'm going to bring this up about my kid, even though her mom, my ex-wife, and my daughter were in a hotel a couple of weeks ago in Dallas. There was supposedly an active shooter, but I guess it was some parents fighting over some fucking drunk ass parents fighting over some nachos, and somebody had a firearm. And then people were all bitching and screaming that they knocked over some pillars. And you got girls there that are like taking pictures or freaking, getting ready to go out to perform, and guys getting ready to perform. And I'm sure these kids know the difference between a pillar falling and the pew pew, Who brings a firearm to a freaking cheer event? Maybe people in Texas, I don't know. But anyways, all I'm saying is shit is gonna happen, right? You never know. And you gotta be trained for that shit. I'm telling you. And if you don't train your people, you're not a good leader. I'm telling you. But so I think my cat's gonna come back again. But all right. So you will see in the next coming days, I will be posting some stuff about leadership, breaking down actual words in the crawl, the walk, and the run. So I'd like to know in the comments what you think. What do you think leadership is? What do you think crawl, walk, run means to you? I'm curious if anybody has gone through some leadership courses like outside of what they actually do now. Now, I know that some organizations teach different, supervisor courses and stuff like that. Unfortunately, when I worked for the government, I was not qualified. I was not a leader, and I definitely didn't want to fucking be a leader because of the shit that I saw going on with my own eyes. Like, they wouldn't want me to be a leader because I would recommend shit that that the upper leaders would be like fucking removed and gone. So all I'm going to say is if you're a leader, or here's what I say, and I'm not trying to call anyone else or anything, but like part of this whole leadership thing is like, I will say like professional writing skills, which I really don't have and I really don't give a fuck about, but I'm learning slowly that it is important. Back in the day, we didn't have military correspondence, and I guess they had shit called the Navy correspondence or the Air Force correspondence or whatever. Wherever organization you're in, there's always had some kind of correspondence that pertains to whatever, military or civilian. But what I'm trying to get at is like AI now is doing a lot of stuff for people. And I wrote in my new book about if I was a supervisor or an interviewer and an individual came to me for an interview, because some of these resumes are scanned by computers, and once the computer picks up those certain words, why are you coming back? Cat, man. You know what? Animals. Can't do it. That's why I don't do video, because the animals be pissing me off. They know I'm talking and they want loved. So, anyways, I would ask an individual, did you write your resume? Because, like, I have been asked several times on interviews and stuff about certain things on my resume that I didn't know. So I won't lie, my resume has been floated around some very high military echelon, i.e. the Pentagon. I've known a couple people. I got my resume back, had like big ass words. I didn't know what the fuck they were. I'm like, well, I can't have all of those big words in there because I can't even pronounce those motherfuckers. So, I would look up a different definition, but it's more than, my eyes, several eyes looked at it and was like, maybe we need to put this in there. But when you go to an interview and they ask you questions about your resume, you need to know what is in your resume, and you need to be like, verify the shit that's in there instead of writing a bunch of fluff. Because when they hire you to be a leader and you got fluff in your resume, you're going to cost somebody their life. So now I'm getting to this thing where, like I said, I don't want to call anyone out at, but I know certain individuals that are very high up in the government where they don't know how to write a resume. They think they know how to write a resume, but to get that job, they pay $500 to $1,000 for some idiot out there to punch in a bunch of stuff in AI and write them a resume, knowing this lazy piece of crap person, don't even get me started, can go and get on their own computer and load the stuff in AI. Now I see like on US jobs now, people are saying that, they're not accepting person's resume. So now the person has to take and paste all this shit into a builder and then it builds your resume. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that or not. Like, I agree there's certain things in AI they do, but we as humans, we have a brain. And here's the thing. If a computer is going to write my resume, then a computer is going to do my job. But if I write my resume and present my resume with, the stellar stuff that's in there, then my brain and me, I'm going to do the job. And I'm going to supervise people or be a follower like I was in this civilian government, because the stuff that I saw, I didn't want to be part of the leadership. So that going forward, I am trying not to talk too much about military because there's a lot of people that aren't military following me, and the crowd is usually like 30 plus, I guess. I don't know. And I'm trying to reach more younger adults with my 2 books on mental health. And I just think that like the whole mental health community is overlooked. Seriously. I think that they should like gut the whole VA system, bring in veterans that have knowledge, some degrees, but I don't agree with people that have high degrees that try to come in and tell someone that just came off the battlefield that everything will be all right. Like, I understand what you're going through. Motherfucker, you don't understand exactly what a veteran goes through, because you have all this school and shit that they plugged into you, and you don't even have a clue if this motherfucker got shot in battle by fucking enemy forces or something. You've never seen a bullet in your entire life, or even picked up a firearm, or even thought about getting a firearm, and you're saying everything will be all right, But anyways, so I'm about at 20 minutes. I don't want to bore anyone else, but it has been my pleasure. I am here. You can reach out to me, 1821 Productions on Facebook. I got the Crawl, Walk, Run platform on Facebook group. You can hit me at William Stevens on Facebook. And always remember, we always have people out there that could eventually be a 22, meaning unalived. It doesn't matter if you're civilian or not. We call them 22s in the military, instead of saying you're just going to be with the K word, which is probably not allowed no more. So remember, there are 22 a day or more now with, people with holidays and stuff like that. But I just want to let you know that there are 22 veterans a day that commit suicide. Their family members or their loved ones, even their children, get to a point in their life where they don't want to be around no more. So, like I said, I don't want to bore you. I don't want to go over 20 some minutes. I was going to talk about you always have that favorite soldier. Well, fuck it, I will. Anyways, because I feel that I was a good leader in the military, I won't try to make this too long, but when I was in Korea, I had a soldier. His name was Loveridge, and Private Loveridge. And he came from the country. He was definitely country. And I definitely think he came from a broken home because, like, whatever problems he had, he brought into the military, and his problems came with him. So he, I believe, was like 19 or 20. He was an alcoholic when he came in to the military. What I don't understand is how he went cold turkey during basic, unless he was hiding that shit. Because, like, when he came to me in Korea and I was his section chief, the guy reeked of alcohol. It was almost like it was in his veins. Like, you know how, like, when you talk to a smoker and they have this shit on their fingers or something, like, this guy just reeked of alcohol all the time. And I'm like, damn, the fuck, is he hiding this shit somewhere? You know? Like, so he brought alcoholism into the military with him. And I'm sorry that he left the military so quick. Yeah, basically because of that. And I don't think Korea was the best place to bring this kid because, like, I was very hard on my guys, you know? Like, I've always been, like, trying to coach, teach, and mentor them and push their asses to, like, success. You know, if they didn't want to go to the board, I didn't force them to go to promotion board or to the month board or anything like that. I didn't care what people are like, oh, you don't have the stats for yourself. I don't give a fuck. They don't want to go to the board, they ain't going to the board. If they don't want to represent the military or the army, I'm not gonna force them. If they're doing their job and they want to do 2 years or 4 years in the military, they don't want to be a leader. So this kid, back then when I was in Korea, they had this thing called close quarters combat. And it was good shit because it's what combatives is now in the military. And I went, but I won't lie, I fell out. Motherfucker tried to do some WWE shit on me with the elbow drop on my ribs. And that ain't in the book in combatives. That damn sure ain't in the book of close quarters combat. That's like, close quarters combat is like you and another individual and you're fighting. Maybe last resort, you know, they're going to bring the elbow down, but, you know, there's other things where hitting people in the larynx with your hands and shots and fingers and eyes and gouging and all that. And, you know, military, the Marine Corps does it hardcore with different colored belts and all that. But I believe, you know, some of these cats that took this course, man, they had like black belt or whatever belt they were and just wanted to come in that thing and just whoop people's asses. Like, they put you against people you didn't think that you were going to go against. And you don't know that either. Like, in the civilian world or in military, you don't know who you're going to go against. So you know, if they're going to put a woman against you and she's going to whoop your ass, and you deserve to get your ass whooped. But some of my soldiers, like Loveridge, I guess to cope from alcoholism, he took that course. And he did very well. So we kind of like hooked him up, you know, where he wasn't drinking no more, and you know he, you know, started going on the straight line and all that, and they've given him several chances and all that, you know, drunk in formation, fucking drunk in the bathroom, drunk in the bed, fucking drunk in the motor pool. Like, we gave this guy so many different chances. And then finally he started cleaning up his act. And we thought that he was going to get promoted to, like, I think E2. He was, E3. Yeah, he came to us as, I don't know how the hell he came to us as an E2, wearing mosquito wing. That's what they call it, a private rank, mosquito wing. When he came to us, then he got E3, and then he got into an altercation downtown with a Korean nationalist. And they tell you during the training not to go out and demonstrate that shit in the public. And if you need to use it, then you use it. If not, don't use it. Well, I guess the individual that approached him, they considered it as an alcohol incident. Even though he didn't have alcohol in his system, it was still in a bar. And somebody didn't like Americans and went after him with a knife. He used close quarters combat moves to neutralize the situation. That's all I'm going to say. And it was so bad that there was an uprising where they wanted to like unalive this guy, my guy. And I had never seen someone get chaptered so quick in the military because, like, one, they were afraid to keep him on the base because of uprising outside. Because this guy almost unalived this Korean naturalist for trying to stab him with a knife. I mean, it just took like 3 shots, 2 shots to the larynx and 1 shot to the temple, and the dude was like, I don't want to say comatose, but yeah, you could figure it out being in the bars in Korea. So that was the last chance they were going to give him because they considered an alcohol-related incident. He was in a bar. They chaptered him. And I don't know where that kid is today, but like I said, there's a bunch of kids that were under me as a platoon sergeant, and some of those kids are very professional today. They say that I groomed them, even though they hated my guts. They still treated their soldiers the way I treated them, you know, hard but fair. So I know some of y'all out there have your favorite soldiers, especially you drill sergeants out there. I was never a drill sergeant. I don't think I'd ever be a drill sergeant. I think I just unalived privates. But I was pretty feared in the military, you know. My look, my demeanor, the way I spoke to people, I was very loud. Now I'm learning how to, like, tone it down. So, you know, especially interacting with different genders and, you know, different nationalities and people identifying themselves as this and that. Don't want to get too much into that. But like I said, I'm about to close this. And I wanted to thank you all for coming on here. Again, I'm sorry that the interview didn't go today with the doctor. Her public affairs person told me that it's definitely going to be worth the wait right before her book drops. I dropped in the comments on the cancellation, her LinkedIn, her Amazon, her Instagram, her freaking world-winning podcast on Spotify. One day, maybe, I don't know, I get like 1 or 2 people that look at my videos and go, fuck this guy. But anyways, I really don't care what you think. I am the voice of the voiceless, and remember, 22 a day. I am out of here.
Every day, 22 veterans and their loved ones lose their lives to the battle within, a fight invisible but deadly. For those who face the horrors of war and the isolation of coming home, this book is more than words. It's a lifeline, a tool to navigate the darkest moments. Author William A. Stevens Jr. opens Pandora's box, exposing the harsh truth of trauma, healing, and redemption. This is also a father's apology, a heartfelt letter to his daughter, a 2-time world champion, for the moments lost while trapped in his own pain. Stevens is the voice for those who feel voiceless, writing to inspire, to heal, and to give hope that change is possible. Join him on this journey of survival, forgiveness, and finding peace. The Broken Mirror, available now on